Now, we will be discussing about spatial movement. When we discuss about spatial movement, we are discussing mainly about a movement architectural system. Something that's moving. It's not just an object, it's an entire system on its own. The things we do in 2D games, those platforms are movable systems. And today, in this video, we're going to explain why.
So we got tiles today. See that? We got tiles. Boom. The hell was the other thing called? Oh yeah. Oh no, not this one, not this one. Chill. What am I looking for? Maybe this one. See how difficult it is when you don't label your things? Oh, come on, bro. It's this one. No, it's this one. But you can see that they're all different. So I got this tile over here. And this is my glowing circuit line, by the way. Just in case you were wondering. So it may be around 3 blocks or 3 assets long. Okay, so now we basically need to figure out, I'm trying to create something like a door, and I basically need to figure out how big that door actually is gonna be. Okay, so I'm gonna take these things down. Hold on, take all this down, and we're gonna try to draw a door or something that we could relate to with an object. Something. Okay, we're going to try to draw something. I have no idea what it's gonna look like, but it's gonna look like something like this. A door. Something, okay? We have to, some door, some pathway. How do we draw, how do we scale and understand spatially how something is drawn, or how big something is going to be is the main question, okay? So, we'll see you there.
So, when we talk about spatial movement, we first need to understand the concept that's being in place. Versus if you look at games such as Celeste, it's also about the character and how she moves as she interacts within her environment, and the materials or substances that she makes contact with. Now, in game spatial movement, it's basically about speed, precision, vertical movement, horizontal, basically just different directions in general, alright? But when we're talking about architecture in particular discusses about how people will move through that space, and also how it feels within that space, because the materials that we are opening and touching can also have some sort of psychological effect on us. One example would be a door handle. How do I know whether I should push or pull or grab the handle that's there on any door? You know? I mean, you've seen these in different buildings, haven't you?
We're about to create our door. Okay. So I'm gonna basically drag this. So this is our door. Okay. This is practically how big our door is. So let's see. So it's a little bit taller than a usual tile asset. Okay. A little bit taller than the brick and mortar asset that we're using here. Alright, but that's fine. I also want the characters or the body or whatever is playing this to be a bit big. I want them to look a little bit tall when we're posing, which is why I made the door be that tall in the first place. Okay? So, it's a matter of preference, as you can basically tell. Now, the only question is, we're gonna do some measuring and figure out how big our going circuit line actually is.
So in architecture, we know there's corridors, staircases, or just circulation flow. If you've been to a luxury home, you know they have stairs that are going up this way, that way, that way, that way. If you go to a Tesla factory, I'm pretty sure the stairs also look more industrial-like because it's in a factory setting. Now, when we look at games in general, there's so many different types. If you go to play any of the Super Mario games, 2D or 3D, they both have insanely different types. You look at Super Mario 64 versus Super Mario Bros, right? So this is basically trying to teach us timing on when we should be on platforms, okay? And that's the idea. It teaches skill. It's all about the skill based on your situation, but mainly that situation is based on the platform itself.
Get a sense of how to measure this. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I'm too lazy to label it. My bad. I'm gonna duplicate. Duplicate. Now let's see how much it really measures. Got this. We got that. Well, hold on, I messed up a little bit. My bad, homie, my bad. We got this. And we got this. Let's see if it works. No, it does not work. It's a little bit taller than what you would usually expect. So, what do? Like in Minecraft, you got everything like dimensionally proportionate, but in for this, it's not the case, so. Yeah, that's kind of rough. Gee. I just don't know what on planet Earth I'm even thinking. It is quite interesting, I'll tell you that. Because you're looking at it 1, 2, right? This isn't exactly proportionate. Is it a problem? I wouldn't say that much, but it definitely should be something that should be taken under consideration, because that means if we're trying to build something like this, we can't use tiles. We're gonna have to use a bridge or some sort of other asset that can replace this, okay?
Let me tell you something very interesting. Based on the amount, if there's less spatial movement, or in other words, there's more restriction, then that basically creates more tension, because then the player is going to try to take the game more seriously. Now, if you look at architecture, this could be the same thing as walls and codes. So if I'm going on a walk, I'm freely going for a walk, and there's this place, and they got a bunch of different signs. Go here, you can't go here, you could go here, you can only go here. Why do people do mazes in real life? I could just be playing a game on my phone with the maze. Why do I have to feel the thrill to go see a maze in the real world? Because that creates tension. It creates that it creates a tension, and it's something I've been wanting to experience for quite some time, you see.
As you can see here, this is the bridge that I've created. And it looks quite accurate, given the, does it look kind of like a box? I mean, sorta, but I also wanted the outlining to really stick in and be there, so yeah, I guess this is my bridge, and it has a sort of Chinese Asian kind of style based on the wooden tiles and stuff like that, and the red linings underneath. But it's just something I just came up with. And for this particular bridge, there's not going to be any animation. Okay? It's just going to be... Alright, let me copy this. Let me paste it here. It's just basically going to be there once this thing disappears, right? Once this electrical thing goes away, then appears the bridge. So let me place this in the right place. Here we go. Yep, there it is. Once this fizzly electrical thingamajiggy is gone, then pops up the bridge. So that's how I want the mechanic to look and feel like. Okay?